but you did just say zierse PB'd recently.
Oh, somebody in the chat already helping us out. Zierse with a 124, which I do know is outdated. So, and it looks like we're
races are already starting.
Yeah.
Fur is showing a 109. 109.59, so basically a 110. And Max has a 127, according to speedrun.com. But anyway, our races are starting. Let's get this going.
All right, so you're gonna see all four of our runners here, I should say. Start off in Cap King, pretty simple kingdom. It kind of just short tutorial, teaches you about the controls, how the capture mechanic works, and the first time we get Cappy here. So I'm just gonna roll on over to the very first cutscene here, skip it, and then on to another one.
It's just right now. It's just all those little things. Just trying like squeeze your way through the hill, not ride up too much on them to lose momentum. Just little small things to do it.
Definitely lots of optimization to be had here in Cap Kingdom, that's for sure.
My personal best is a 233. I have no idea how some people get like 229s, 230s. It's just ridiculous.
There's a very, very precise jump in the very last room that saves about 3 seconds. So over rolling up the hill. But it is probably the hardest jump I've ever attempted in this game.
For max bonking there. And also one thing you'll see most of these runners do is when they capture the frog, as it was loading back out, you can actually buffer the jump or movement as its screen's loading in.
Oh yeah, definitely. You kind of have control of that frog before the game shows it on screen. So you can.
We're going to the left on us here.
He's going to opt in to not roll over the hill and make a nice climb there. So definitely saving a few seconds over Max. We're going to be up on our first boss fight here. It's pretty simple. We just want to get a nice jump on his hat there, like we saw Fur do, skip a cycle. And then we'll be on our way to Cascade Kingdom.
And just like that, Fur has already finished the boss with Max, zierse, and deyskil literally right behind him. Yeah. Zierse and deyskil are pretty synced up.
Max mistiming that jump there. Gonna have to go through an extra phase here on this boss, but not a big time loss, but definitely gonna hurt him. So
yeah, just a few seconds. No, the big roadblock to most runners isn't Cap. It's Cascade with the T-Rex and this trampoline. Let's see how nice it decides to be for our runners today.
Oh yeah, there's definitely. It's one of those tricks that if you miss it the first time, it's harder to try it the second time. So. Because
there is no real setup afterwards. It depends on where the T-Rex wants to stand. You need to get its left foot to hit into near the center of that trampoline, which is hidden under a rock, which is bigger than the trampoline itself. So it gets a little strange to try and figure it out. That's why every runner has their own little setup. As all our runners here getting their first moon of the run, only 123 to go.
Yeah. Slow and steady. Actually, fast and not. So they're gonna just knock that bridge down, and Fur's gonna make his way over. There's gonna be a small cutscene here, and then we're gonna be onto that T-Rex skip that we were talking about. Very reset heavy point. Saving a ton of time. If you're trying for PB attempt, something that you can't afford to miss. So we'll see how each runner handles it here. Even
Fur with
sorry, go ahead.
Fur just had a little ledge grab there, cost him a second or so. Just a minor thing. Ooh, missing the jump. T-Rex trampoline. Let's see how the others roll.
Gets a very quick back up there, so
yeah, excellent for him. Zierse missing it as well. Max having trouble getting up to the T-Rex. There he is.
Looks like deyskil's gonna get a first try here, so let's see if Max can get it. And it looks like a nice bounce from Max, so both the runners here on the right getting a first try and making up some time that they definitely needed. So keeping a close race here from both parties.
Fur opting in with backflip strats, which actually do save about a second or so in this fight over going up to the hill. Max messing up and taking a hit there.
Yeah, unfortunate, but see if he can recover it quickly here. You got to get, ooh, and Madam smacking him out of the chain chomp there. It's kind of hard to react to, so looks like he's going to be all right, though. Getting one more hit, and then he'll be on his way. And it looked like deyskil got walled a little bit there, so zierse is definitely going to take the lead back down the bottom rings.
And for the most likely, with the majority of this run, we will see Fur pulling ahead while the other three runners should maintain pretty close.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens here. Alrighty, we're gonna have all the runners finishing up here. They need one more moon and cascade before we can leave, so they're gonna hop on up here, grab a really quick moon, and then roll back onto the Odyssey.
Alright, and Fur will be the first leaving cascade as he powers up his ship for the first time.
Zierse taking a small bonk there. An unfortunate bonk there could mean that the chain chomp breaks that wall that we need. So, quick recovery there. No problem for him.
Max bonking twice trying to do the climb.
Definitely maybe some nerves getting to him. But definitely staying on pace here, so not too far behind. So now we're going to be off on our way to Sand Kingdom. I'm sure most people know by now there's a million routes for Sand Kingdom, so as we see each runner doing, we'll definitely talk about them. Whether it be you get an early bird, a late bird, go Sphinx, Sphinx clip, skip Sphinx. There's a million things to do here.
Employees only, notes, what? It's just so many different ways. There's also the middle bird, too.
Yeah, which is very uncommon, but who knows? We'll definitely see some new things from runners today. I always see new things in Sand Kingdom. Even the small adjustments, like how they're going to choose to get up to the first moon here, whether they hop off the fountain or take the umbrella. It looks like we're going to see Fur hop on the fountain here.
Yeah, Fur's going off the fountain. It's about 2 or 3 seconds faster going off the umbrella. If you add into the spark or not. Some people not going for early bird. Let's see what zierse and deyskil go for.
Looks like zierse is going to go for an early bird here. Taking a little bit of a safer route. If you go for a late bird, you have to be really quick on your timing coming out of the Sphinx, if you do. So.
Almost missed the bird, and looks like deyskil did hit the bird. It was off screen, but thankfully he did still get it.
And all three of our runners, except for Fur, going for an early bird here, so we should see pretty similar routes for them. And we're going to see Fur coming up on one of the kind of harder movement options here in Sand Kingdom, jumping on top of that ice pillar to grab this moon really quick. So
I ended up opting to jump off to the side, do a half bounce, and dive up there instead of a standard ground pound or backflip we see most runners do.
Xerxes looks like he got that moon first try there. Definitely a hard moon to line up where there's no visual cues. You kind of just got to get a feel for that one. So.
I gotta reload the stream real quick, so you'll be alone for a second.
Not a problem, not a problem. So we're gonna see Fur try. It looked like his bullet bill died. We do plan to get a first cycle bullet bill here, but the manipulation on it can be kind of hard to keep it alive there. So.
Alright, I am back now. I just see Fur grab the one on the pillar.
Yep, perfect. We're going to see both of our players down here making... Oh, and it looks like zierse going to get the movement he wanted on the ice pillar. deyskil falling down a little bit, giving the lead back to zierse. So we're going to see... and it looks like both runners are going to lose the bullet bill manipulation there.
Fur going for Sphinx clip.
And looks like he's going to get it. Excellent.
Second try. That is easily acceptable.
Oh, I take that any day.
I'll be lucky if I get it within 50. Now, Zierse and deyskil both heading over to the pillar. Deyskil grabbing a. Even with that one fall, yeah, it still has a few seconds on Zierse. Max right behind them.
Definitely a kingdom where we use a lot of bullet bills. They're fast, so of course we're going to opt into using them. So it looks like deyskil is going to just tox the Sphinx along with Zierse. So both of the runners down here at the bottom having very close routes, almost pretty much exactly the same. So they're not going to have to worry about coins. So going to be neck and neck. And an unfortunate bonk from Fur, not quite getting the height that he needed off that wall kick.
Ooh, okay, I'm a few seconds behind you then. I just saw that. Let me refresh again. Okay, I see. Right. And he's about to try it again.
Yep.
Alright, he makes it up this time.
Oh, yeah. Making it look easy the second time around.
Alright, looks like Max went to the Sphinx room as well. So, none of these runners are going to have to be worrying about coins really at all this run.
And one of the options we see here where players will opt out of Sphinx just for a slightly quicker route, but coins become a concern. All the coins that we get in Sphinx room, you don't have to worry about them at all, just like Roach said. So.
And Max got a checkpoint up near before this bullet bill, just in case he does end up failing this.
Looks like Max gonna get it first try there. Definitely making up some time here that he's gonna need. Deyskil becoming a cactus, one of the funnier captures I think that they have in this game. Whether it be a meat or a fireball and a cactus. And then all of our runners are going to be warping on back to the Odyssey here, and then we're going to be off to Lake Kingdom.
I had to step away for a quick second. I had to let the dogs out.
Oh, not a problem at all. Definitely just both mentioning that we're going to be heading off to Lake Kingdom here. We're a very short kingdom, but definitely a lot of room for big time losses, whether it be bonk early on and falling in the water, doing cheap jump here that we're going to see probably all the runners do. Failing that can definitely cost a lot of time, and then very what I would call an easy boss, but one missed time jump and you're going to lose a lot of time.
So. It's a very simple kingdom. Quite a few variants and strats here. Fur looks like he's just going to go for a triple jump here. Yep. I've seen people throw their hat and jump all of that to make it over there.
Yeah, doing one of those hat leaps that we can see on Mario do, where you throw your hat and then run into it. Ooh, and an unfortunate bunk there. Looking like he probably wanted a roll cancel, but just a little bit too late on the input. So.
Then there's also the difference of diving into the water here or ground pounding into it. Or Fur deciding to just glide into it.
A bunch of different options. Max going to be entering the kingdom, not too far behind here, and both of our runners in here on the bottom are pretty much on the same moon. Both of them getting a nice zipper there. Missing the capture on that zipper definitely wastes a lot of time, so it's nice to see both runners get it. And that's the bonk I was talking about earlier there from Max. Bonking there, you just got to kind of reset. You fall in the water, not very fun. And then there's Goombas try to bully you. Nobody likes a Goomba bully, that's for sure.
All right, Max going for a different setup here. Ooh, bonks again and falls back down.
Looks like he wanted to get a triple jump there, but just kind of missed the input maybe. So he's just going to have to reset here.
Fur actually missing the initial hit on Rango and taking a hit.
Yeah, this is another boss where we just try to skip all the phases with some well-timed jumps like we see Fur doing there. But missing one of them wastes a nice chunk of time, so that's something we want to see.
I said Max doing a ground pound down into the water. I say we've seen three different ways that people have done it. Grabbing the bottom cheap, which is different. Very clean
Looks
movement
like
up
he
to that
won,
move,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, looks like he wanted the top one, but Cappy kind of just homed to the bottom one.
Cappy does like to do his own thing occasionally. Deyskil finishing up the Rango fight. Zierse is going to be behind him in just a moment.
Oh, and I'm sorry, Xerxes just kind of missed time in the last jump that he needed there, so he's just going to have to wait a little bit. Oh, and just missing it again. He's going to have to looks like he's just going to play it safe. I don't want him to death would definitely not be affordable.
Max
getting bullied a little bit. Yeah.
Let's see if Max can show us a clean fight.
I do believe deyskil is pretty clean, but let's see if we can get 2 out of 4 here. Yeah, very good clean fight from Max. Definitely gonna get some time back that he is behind a little bit. So.
And now we're gonna make our way over to Wooded Kingdom, which is one of my personal favorites.
Definitely in the top 3 for me. And another area where we might see a slight route change. Some players opting into taking the pipeway early or the pipeway late. So we'll see what everybody does. Even the slightest, and honestly, a lot of movement options here with triple jumps, roll cancels. So we'll see what every player decides.
Very nice hit on the rabbit for further.
No, that rabbit can definitely troll you pretty hard. Just like they put it in the game just to annoy the heck out of you. So.
There's also the option of people grabbing the rabbit or the rock and which one they do first there. I've seen both done quite often.
Yeah, and deyskil going to be kicking that rock a little bit. Looks like he accidentally threw his hat, so losing a little bit of time there. Nothing too serious, though. Max heading off to Wooded Kingdom, just a little bit behind. Nothing, definitely time that could be made up. So, ooh, and an unfortunate bump from further.
Didn't fall though, so he's still good.
Yeah.
Also, probably mentioned there's 2. You can buy a moon from every shop in the run. We only do it in Wooded Kingdom and Snow Kingdom, which we need 100 coins for both. That's why 200 coins is the most amount of coins we will need for the run.
Yep. Definitely. But like we said earlier, saying all of our runners went to Sphinx Room, so they've got plenty of coins. Like as you see, Xerxes and deyskil having 200 coins after buying 1, so they're not going to have to worry about coins at all.
I believe there's a total of 400 in the Sphinx Room.
Yeah, so you can definitely make it out of there with plenty of change to, maybe buy moons for the whole house. So.
All right, let's see how. Ooh, Fur taking a bonk there. Let's see if he can do the backup.
Not quite getting the back.
Takes a hit again. That pipe room is probably the hardest part of Wooded Kingdom.
Yeah, it's very it's on a very quick cycle, and you've got very tight windows that you have to do your inputs in. So. Definitely something that I practice for hours at this point.
I said I've yet to make a damage list. I've been able to make the faster cycle with 1 damage boost near the end.
Yeah, that's usually what I go for unless I get on a really early cycle. So, and it looks like so far all of our players have opted into an early pipeway here. They're just going to kind of do the linear motion when they go that way and then head on to the checkpoint. We're about to see Fur go past the checkpoint that we would see some runners go to first and then hop down to the pipeway. But looks like so far all of them taking the same route here. And Xerxes not I shouldn't have said anything because I was just about to say not taking damage. So, but waiting on the cycle. So sadly, that's a little bit more than the time loss than he wanted. So.
Let's see how Max does.
Ooh, maybe wanting an extra dive there. Sometimes the water can be a little bit finicky to jump out of. He's gonna have to just go off the wall here on the left.
Let's hope that none of the runners fall here on this jump. It's huge time loss if you do.
And Fur realizing that he just didn't quite have the speed that he needed, so he's just going to say, nope, I'm going to go over to the switch. So do not blame him at all. In a race scenario, that jump is extremely terrifying. So taking a safer option out, I do not blame him.
It's because you have to do a ground pound roll into a cancel, throwing your hat, maintaining the speed, into a triple jump, jumping off the corner of the fence in order to be able to make the distance needed to make it up there without hitting the switch.
Yeah, very precise and very risky jump for not a whole lot of reward. So the safer option is definitely something that I do not blame any runner here for taking. Max not quite getting the height that he needed to make it up to that ledge. We'll see if our bottom runners here opt into any fancy movement here. Deyskil's just going to say, nope, I'm going to the switch. Again, I don't blame anybody for opting out of this jump in a race. And it's a very, very scary jump.
Alright, Fur is in the spearwort fight.
Yeah, another really simple fight where we just got to time 3 jumps to get on his head there. Skipping a cycle that we don't want to see. So. Excellent. Nice movement there from deyskil, getting a nice hat bounce and a dive up onto that ledge.
Fur taking 2 hits during the spearwort fight. Thankfully, he didn't die.
Those may be intentional if he rolled into him. I'm not sure why, but recently we've been seeing a few runners do that. If you roll into him right there, I think it makes it the animation of him teleporting back to the middle a little bit quicker, but don't quote me. Ooh, and deyskil almost taking a death there. Unfortunate but fortunate bonk on the railing, saving him from flying off there. He wanted to dive onto his hat, but just missing it.
And I must be having a little issue with my restream I'm watching. I'm falling a few seconds behind again. There we go. Should be good now. Deyskil is in the fight. Max just grabbed a moon, and zierse is right behind deyskil, looks like.
Yep. So, he's a little bit late on the jump there, but not a big time loss. He's just going to have to hit it one more time, I believe, and then both runners are going to be out of wooded. No, he needs one more hit. Okay.
Max is climbing up the nut tower, that I believe is actually called.
Right on, right on. Yeah, we definitely, another Kingdom where we use to capture quite a bit here. These uproot things give us a lot of height. So.
I thought it was just called an onion.
Could be called an onion. It could be a watermelon too. It has stripes.
Use your imagination, as Fur is now entering Cloud Kingdom for the first Bowser fight.
Max going to be entering his spirit fight here, so not too far behind. Both of our bottom racers practically neck and neck. And it looks like Fur is going to miss a cycle here on the Bowser fight. He's going to have to re-grab the hat. He went for a very quick and precise strat on the first cycle there. Going to lose him a little bit of time, but nothing serious.
Max now finishing up the spirit fight and is now about to join our other runners. Wow, that is actually a pretty crazy strat. I didn't even know that was possible.
From Fur? Yeah.
Yes.
The backflip strats. Yeah, something we've seen a lot of runners do recently is backflip into the hat and grabbing it practically as early as possible, taking the damage here to say, nope, I don't care. I'm going to hit the hat as soon as it's available and grab it. As long as the hat is already on Mario, Bowser will not take it back. But if mistiming a jump there will make it so that Bowser instantly takes his hat back and jump away. So you have to redo the phase, losing quite a bit of time. So very risky, but definitely fast. And a nice Bowser fight from Fur there.
So I learned something new myself.
That's what I love about this game. I see new stuff practically every race.
Now, for entering Time Lost Kingdom, as some people like to call it, due to that one minor little mistake here can be a huge amount.
And Fur looking to get a nice triple jump off of this tree there, but just kind of misspacing it, so he's going to reset here. Now you're gonna see almost I would say every runner jump off this tree like we just saw further, and I'm sure as most people know, we do that in order to skip a lengthy cutscene where this bird, which is called a klepto, steals our hat. And we gotta go retrieve it. So going around and Fur gonna get a nice save jumping back from that butterfly really quickly, realizing that he just didn't quite get on the ledge. So quick reaction time from Fur there. But that cutscene, we just go around the trigger and trigger it another way in order to say we're gonna skip that cutscene and do Lost Kingdom really quickly.
After Fur grabs the next moon, you'll actually see him run up near Klepto to trigger the scene. So Klepto doesn't end up stealing her hat because the fight is already triggered with him.
Yeah, definitely saving a bunch of time over the any other way of doing this. So we see deyskil coming up on his tree jump, gonna get it. Looks like it was first try there. Ooh. Making it onto the tiny ledge there. I don't know if that surprised him as much as it surprised me. So.
Most runners aim for the tiny ledge just because for the tree, it's a pretty straight shot, and then it's a lower height, so there's a lesser chance you'll bonk when you go for it. It looks like Zierse is working on his different setup that I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, and then actually, just one more thing that I've never seen before. So. Definitely putting his own style on that tree jump there.
And Fur went for the cage moon instead of the one behind the stone pillar. And he's doing the little jump to get back around. Actually saves about 2 seconds, not taking the death there.
Yeah, some players may do a death warp there, grabbing that moon below and then warping back to the Odyssey. Saving yourself, just like Roach said, does save 2 seconds. So nice movement there and a very clean Lost Kingdom from Fur, only having a few errors at the beginning. And Max gonna get a nice triple jump too, making it up to the high ledge there. So, and an unfortunate bonk, but it's all right. He'll recover real quick. So, and both of the runners down here, zierse triggering the klepto and deyskil just right in front of him. So neck and neck down here at bottom. Definitely exciting to see.
Race can go any way between zierse and deyskil right now.
We're going to be coming up on Dark Metro or Rainy Metro or Crappy Metro, whatever you want to call it. Definitely an easy place to lose time. A lot of precise jumps and hard to move fast. A lot of pitfalls all over the place here in Dark Metro.
The hardest section of the run to learn.
It definitely we're going to see Fur coming up on one of the tighter jumps that we see in this run. We're going to see a few variations of that, one in Lost and one in Seaside. So making quick work of that, and he's going to long jump over these girders.
Missed a little too early on his one backflip, but quick reset, not really an issue for him.
And zierse grabbing that moon underneath, and it looked like deyskil kind of just missing the last moon that he needed, so he's gonna have to come back up here and re-trigger the klepto. I'm not sure if and a bonk and a death.
See, it would actually be faster at this point if they just actually went for the old strat of jumping off the cage to get back over to klepto to be able to re-grab that.
I'm not sure if he blew up the cage already, so.
Ooh, I did not see if he went for that route or not either. But, yeah, then he would be forced to do this way if he did. Let's see, Max grabs the moon under the bridge. Fur with a very nice climb in the Dark Tower.
Yeah, coming up on the last long jump here can be definitely tricky for newer players. The camera turning on you very quickly, making it hard to. And it looks like he did break the cage, so
but he forgot to trigger klepto though.
Yeah.
So deyskil is probably beating himself up right now.
An unfortunate time loss there. He is gonna have to go get klepto. Do this short little klepto fight, so see how he reacts to that.
Let's see how Mecha Wiggler goes for Fur. Pretty standard first phase, and now into manipulating them to be able to take shorter paths between walls.
Yeah, we just shove ourselves in the corner here, making this cycle a little bit quicker.
Alright. Let's see, zierse is going for the long jump over to the girder, and makes it without issue.
Deyskil get his hat back, and he's gonna... He still needs one more moon, so... He's gonna get it just fine. So he'll head off back to the Odyssey, and definitely a large time loss, but definitely not over for him.
For intentionally taking some damage to focus on shots on a Mecha Wiggler here to try and get the 2 cycle.
And he's gonna get it.
Cleanly. Now, one thing I actually found out recently, the overheating for the tank, where you can't shoot for a few seconds, is actually triggered by having 3 shots in the air at the same time.
Yeah, that is definitely how it works. So you'll see a lot of players get closer and closer to it as the fight goes on, so that they can spam more shots, making the airtime for the shots shorter.
And zierse was taking a fall there, managed to recover himself nicely. Let's see how Max's climb goes here. So this is one of the trickier sections when it comes to movement for Metro Dark. It's going to take the easier cycle.
Definitely, yeah. Taking it easy, I don't blame him. zierse opting out of that long jump away from the camera. Again, I do not blame him. It's a very tricky jump to do in a race.
Looks like Fur's going for the homing cap for the grab in the first moon in Metro Light side.
Oh, and deyskil taking a bonk, trying to get up the climb here. He's gonna go ahead and get a second try. No, making it look easy that time. And Fur going for scooter clip here. See how he gets it. And it looks like he missed his first setup. He's gonna get it on the second try. So definitely a nice reaction there for him to line up on the second wall.
Taking the scooter and jumping off of it to easily get off that little bounce curtain, or
I don't know what they're called either. I don't know. Don't ask me. Awning. I like bounce curtain, to be honest with you. That's what I'm calling them from now on.
First thing that came to my mind, I just went with it. Let's see how the Mech Wiggler goes for zierse.
Yeah, hopefully you can get a 2 cycle here and hold on to that lead. But if not, it's definitely going to give deyskil some time to get back in this. So.
Now let's see if all of our runners remember to grab the checkpoint at the top before the Mech Wiggler fight.
Oh, zierse gonna look like he's gonna miss the 2 cycle. A little
too late. He was too close, so he wasn't able to get up to the higher point.
Showing some frustration with his camera there, and deyskil not having a very good dark metro here. It looks like it's being very unkind to him. So looks like he fell off one more time. Let's see how he recovers here.
Probably a little until from the loss segment still.
Oh, I do not blame him at all. It's definitely a frustrating thing to have happen to you. But again, zierse missing that cycle is definitely going to give deyskil some time that he needed. So.
See how Max's fight goes for him now. He says he's about to enter the second cycle. Pretty clean light side of Metro for Fur so far. Clean run overall for him.
Yeah. It's always interesting to see how early how comfortable runners are with ground pounding off of the roof there. Some runners opting in to do it as they see their shadow, and some opting in to do it as soon as they get where they think they need to be. So I always think it's fun to see what people will go for. And Max just looks like a fireball ate his last shot. He should have gotten a 2 cycle there, but just an unfortunate fireball placement from Mecha Wiggler, which is one of the instances of RNG we do see in this run, in which can be unkind to you sometimes.
Yeah, because the order that the fireballs shoot is random. It's like shoots out what, 4 or 5 at you, I believe.
Yeah, and then what side they come out of, and
yes, if it comes from the left side, right side, depending on which ones come at you, is RNG. Just like Mecha Wiggler's movement on the wall itself.
Yeah, that's just definitely something to control you.
Max playing a little safe, taking out those fireballs before they killed him. Smart move.
I do believe he was on 1 HP, so
he was.
Definitely good thinking on his feet there. So hopefully deyskil can get the 2-cycle here and make up some time that he needs, keeping this race close. Fur is going to be coming up on probably the biggest part of the run. Let it speak for itself.
Yeah, we gotta stay quiet for it.
Alright, pay our respects to the OTEP.
Let's see if deyskil can get this 2-cycle now. Overheated there, ate a few shots of his. No, he missed quite a lot of segments. He is at 1 life, so hopefully he can. Heart drop there is nice for him.
Aiming with the tank can be very unforgiving at times. Very sporadic controls with the tank. So it looks like he's just gonna miss the last one. Gonna go into another cycle here. Just needing one more segment.
And also, if you're a little frustrating, you start shaking your controller, the motion controls will actually affect your aim as well.
It looks like zierse missed the dive somewhere. He's gonna have to climb back up here. Yeah, the motion controls on that. And me personally being one, I aim with the motion controls, finding it much easier. The sticks.
I find it terrible to aim with motion controls. Like, I can never get it to just aim right.
deyskil getting extremely trolled by Mecha Wiggler here. Looking like for some reason it just did not give him the hit. Like I feel offended for him. I cannot believe that did not hit.
Because that shot was right there.
Right, like three of them right on it. Like it's unbelievable. I would definitely feel for deyskil at this point. That's a very rough, almost nothing you can do about it.
There he goes. Finally takes the hit. As Max goes to take out the trash.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I think that moon is called How Do They Take Out the Trash? So, no, it's Max scaring me a little bit. Missing that moon, but fortunate timing on that girder to be there. So
as zierse was just being a little rude, rolling through all these people going, excuse me, get on my way, coming through.
Not even saying excuse me. Mario is a rude boy and getting a nice jump. Oh, looks like I shouldn't have said anything. Getting a nice jump from one bounce curtain to the next there.
Well, you gotta imagine the entire story of this game is that Bowser's trying to plan the perfect wedding for Peach. That's why he's going through all these kingdoms. He's like getting the best cake, getting the best ring, everything best in the universe for Peach. And Mario's just trying to stop their perfect wedding.
I mean, in her defense, she was kidnapped, but all I know is that you save her and she takes another vacation, so she's not very grateful. I'm not doing any of this.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'll save it for the end of the run on that comment.
deyskil coming up on an RC scooter here.
Because that final cutscene will speak for itself.
Looks like he's getting just trolled a little bit. The controls on this RC car can be extremely frustrating. Kind of handling like an old school RC car where one stick is forward and backwards, the other stick is left and right. And of course your camera's kind of set in a position there, making it even harder. So zierse coming up on his OTEP.
Yeah, the controls on that RC car, your first few times with it, are horrendous. It's like everyone figures out their own little setup for it. As deyskil gonna sit on the bench with the old man.
Bench friend. Gonna make a new friend. But really we're only there to grab a moon from him and then we run away. Again, Mario showing off that maybe he's just rude. Maybe Mario's been the villain this whole time.
We'll let the chat decide on that.
Yeah, let's not get too ridiculous here. So Fur coming up on his Goomba room here. Goomba room can definitely be one of those harder things to optimize.
We got Max with OTEP here.
Definitely. Goomba room being one of those rooms that's very kind of hard to optimize. It being on ice and Goombas control you, but it looks like he's going to go for a quick long jump at the end here. One new option we have seen after the Goomba stack moon, some players will go for a roll cancel triple jump, but it's very, very scary. One mistime jump there and you are dead.
Yeah, I personally played a little safe on the ice there because ice physics are just terrible. It doesn't matter what game you're playing.
I 100% agree. I'd take it pretty safe in that room myself.
As Fur is making his way to his last moon, Snow Kingdom.
Yeah, another kingdom where we don't fight the boss. The room that we see Fur in now is a room that you could go fight a boss in, but that's slow and we only need one more moon, so we just go find the secret moon behind the snow here.
And this boss, actually, the brutal boss here, only gives one moon as well, instead of the standard 3.
What? I didn't know that.
It's the ice giant, or the giant ice cube you fight at the end that gives you the 3 for this kingdom.
Deyskil gonna make his way through the crowd there, rolling through, not saying excuse me at all. And then we're gonna see Fur head off to Seaside. Which looks like Max went to first. So I don't know if that's just a personal preference or more than likely just a personal preference.
It could also be that in normal PB attempts, he might do Seaside first and not do Sphinx, and he only did Sphinx this time for safety and not having to worry about the coins in the run for a tournament race.
Looks like he's having a little bit of trouble here with that jump. It's another jump where we need to get max height off of our cap dive in order to make it. And it looks like he's going to get it there. So excellent backup there from Max. A very tight window. We're going to see that same kind of same set of inputs in Luncheon, where we need to do any form of special jump, whether it be a backflip, ground pound, triple jump, and then throw our hat. Get as much height as we can off of it, and then do a wall kick.
And Fur bonking on that jump that Max was having a little trouble with himself. Gets it second try, no problem.
Definitely a tight window. One mistimed input there, and you're bonking.
Another cave that Max is in right now that a lot of runners do struggle with.
Just like we see there, that room's kind of, it's what I would call semi, like 2D 0.5. Your depth perception can really troll you in there. The camera kind of being fixed, facing Mario that way. Being very hard to tell if you need to move forward.
The moon is actually closer to the screen than you would think. It's not in the middle. It's a little like closer to the screen than the middle is.
It's a big giant troll.
Fur getting to the room quite cleanly. Now the very deceptive note line.
Yeah, you gotta be it's one of the places where if you need to correct a little bit of movement, you don't want to overcorrect, because then you'll get what I call speed wobbles, and then it's just all done for.
And you'll just like end up missing a note, possibly just missing it completely, having to go back to shore, redo everything. Then you're just like mad. Then you just keep messing up. It's just downhill spiral from there.
Zierse making a quick work at a blowy Joey room there.
Now, Max and Fur are being quite close in Seaside Kingdom right now, but Max still does need to do Snow Kingdom, so Fur is still a full kingdom ahead of him. They're quite synced up on grabbing that moon out of the chest.
Yeah. Shout outs to synchronized moon grabbing. And it looked like Zierse's killed a Goomba, so he's going to have to reset the room. Maybe giving deyskil the opportunity that he needs here to get back in this race. Not too far behind, both of them being in Snow Kingdom. And little did I did not know that if you reset that room, the pillars stay, and even that Goomba was missing his hat. So the more you know.
Did not know that.
We're going to see both of our runners up top here get the last moon they need in Seaside, warp back to the Odyssey, and head on to the next. Fur is going to be heading to a luncheon, having a kingdom lead there, like Roach said. So,
best kingdom.
I really enjoy. Recently I've spent a lot of time in luncheon just finding slight movement optimizations for myself, or just even some swag strats. Definitely a kingdom that you get to see a lot of flair in runners movement options. So
Then there's also the choice between the fork room or the Poodaboo, I think it's called.
yeah,
Fireball things.
Definitely definitely a kingdom that for me personally is in my top 3 just because of all of the movement options that there are, and a kingdom that when done right feels great. But having probably, in my opinion, one of the hardest jumps in the route right at the beginning of it. So
I personally find it not too hard with a triple jump. I personally have no idea how people can do it with a ground pound or a backflip. I just don't see the height possible. Every time I've tried, it's never been good enough.
I recently, so Fur is on this jump right now. One of the issues that definitely plagues a player is, and he's going to get his second try there, is there's a little ceiling there that we saw Fur bonk his head on. So definitely a tight window and a lot of room for error. So another one of those jumps that you need to make sure you're getting really good height off of your cap dive in order to make it. That is what makes or breaks that moon. We're going to see deyskil in the Blowy Joey room here. Getting trolled by a Spiny there. He's going to just get on out and whoop his butt himself. Fur coming up on a refight with a Spewer, exactly the same as the one before it. So, not really anything too interesting here. And that damage was definitely unintentional, so I'm not sure. Just probably a mistimed jump there from him. Zierse's getting bullied a little bit by a Goomba there. And he's going to get that first try, so definitely a good start to Seaside for zierse.
Alright, I should be back now.
Welcome back. Hello.
There we go. Sorry, my internet decided my roommate reset my router, so it kind of disconnected me for a moment.
No, not a problem. Glad to have you back.
See, it looks like alright. Zierse is alright. Taking a little bonk on the wall there.
Yeah. Just another bonk. So definitely a room that can be your depth perception. Definitely is not your friend in here.
Very clean movement up that mountain for Fur.
Yeah, definitely one of the areas of luncheon that's kind of harder to optimize. And Fur gonna get that moon just fine after he makes his way up there. And Max taking an unfortunate bonk in snow. Snow being one of the harder areas to roll around on with all the tiny hills. Definitely control you.
Max grabbing up his Goombas right now.
But small mistakes from Zierse here is definitely going to let deyskil gain some time back. That's what may make or break this race here. Both players having the same route, so it's going to come down to movement.
Man, deyskil had all that time lost and lost as well.
So yeah, definitely doing his best to keep it a close race here, and it is. As most, if you're familiar with Mario Odyssey, you know that probably the Luncheon and Bowser's Kingdom are the easiest places to lose time for sure. So I never call a race over until 2D shortcut.
It looks like Fur is going for a fork room.
Oh, awesome. So a room that it's very hard to optimize, where motion control is being a large factor in it. So they're already off to a good start, getting early cycles here.
Very clean fork room.
Looks like he wanted to skip the last fork there, but opting out, realizing that maybe he just didn't quite have the height or distance that he needed.
Max taking a bonk, trying to get up this wood structure here.
Yeah, just not quite getting the height that he wanted off that wall kick. Deyskil making it up to that moon on the cliff easily. And we're going to see zierse playing with some seaweed. And a very nice climb from Fur to get up to this moon. Not the tightest jump, but definitely a precise set of inputs there.
Now let's see how the cheese blocks go for him here. There's a little bit of RNG with how the pans are thrown.
Yeah, so it can be very frustrating, and it looks like the Spiney's going to bully him a little bit there. He's going to opt in for the stand back and throw as many as he can option. I do not blame him. There's really no way to optimize that. Pan Bro is definitely not a bro in my eyes.
His pans just go wherever. It's hard to do it. There's some people stand right in front, but sometimes when you try and cap the switch, the Koopa or the Spiny itself will get in your way.
Yeah, definitely a lot of weird things can happen right there on that moon.
Max is finishing up Snow Kingdom finally.
If we're going to get the first cycle on that Podoboo, definitely something we like to see from the runners.
We're going up the left side of the mountain here, which... Alright, that's a lot faster than going up the other way.
Oh yeah, definitely that triple jump there being a little bit precise. You need to make sure you get nice height and movement. And we're going to see zierse go for a ground pound strat here. And looks like he's going to recognize that he just didn't have the height that he needed. Looks like he's going to get it that time with a very nice second try there. So...
For collecting his final moon out of the soup to be able to finish up lunch in here.
Soup moon.
Or is that a bowl of ramen?
Either way, I'm calling it a soup moon. Roach here coming up with some awesome things that I didn't know what to call before. I think bounce skirting is my favorite.
It's like lunch, and it's like one reason it's my personal favorite is there's literally salt everywhere. You can't get salt during this run. There's already enough around.
And I could be mistaken, but I think that was first try cheese list there from Max. So definitely getting some time back that he needs. Looks like deyskil having a little bit of issue with the cheap there, just kind of made him fumble on his buttons a little bit.
Max almost fell into the poison bubblegum, or boiling bubblegum, whatever you want to have it be. Having a little trouble getting up on this roof to trigger the spirit fight. Deyskil is now leaving Seaside to join zierse in luncheon.
Still definitely not over for bottom race here, or even top race. Bowser's Kingdom being a very easy place where anything can happen. So,
just Mecha Brutal by itself.
Mecha Brutal by itself could lose you the whole run. So, if you miss 2 cycles on it, you're talking minutes. So, Fur is going to be coming up on the dragon fight here. One of those things that probably the very first few times you do it can be pretty fun, but after that, there's really no way to speed this fight up. We just need to make sure the runners are going to make sure that they're available to pull the pins out of the dragon's nose as soon as it allows them. So whether it be a damage boost like we see Fur doing here, or taking some additional damage by jumping.
He went up a little too early, yes.
We just want to make sure that we're pulling the pins out as soon as the game lets us and then doing a ground pound. So
deyskil going for the standard triple jump strat to get up here on top of the salt pile.
Excellent, getting it. Was that first try?
Yes, it was.
Awesome. So definitely making some time back there. And looks like he misspaced his jump there, and he's going to have to take a death. That's super unfortunate from deyskil there.
zierse missing the dunk with the golden bean into the stew.
No, we like to see Kobe's around here, not second try Kobe's.
So personally, I find the Dragon Ball Spurs one completely out of place in this game.
You know what? When I think about it, yeah, but then when I think about Mario, Mario's always been weird, so I'm fine with him keeping it weird.
True. This Mario, you got fork people, giant polar bears, rabbit, bridal party planners.
Yep. So I'm fine with him. Keep Mario weird. We're gonna see zierse go into forks. So far, none of our players opting into the potable room, so we'll see if any of our other runners go for it. And it looks like Max is gonna get a triple jump Kobe, showing off a little bit of swag there. Oh, and zierse just kind of missing the input that he wanted there. Not quite going on the fork that he wanted. Looks like he was taking a second there, or the fork was trolling him a little bit. I couldn't tell. Sometimes those forks can really kind of mess up your inputs. You can only flick them one way, and if you roll off that one way, it kind of locks. So
Just flick you in that direction to begin with.
But he's gonna clean it up nice there.
We're about to enter into the notorious Bowser's Kingdom.
And it looks like Max is going to go potable room, so we'll see how he handles that. There's a very risky strat that you can go for. Most players will opt in to take damage at the end in order to skip to the moon that they need, but you can jump off of this moving platform in that room, but it's very risky because that room, again, is it's like sliding around on ice when you're in there. So
yes, it does save about 2 or 3 seconds or so because you don't have to have the health refill when you go to grab the moon. Let's see which extra moon that Fur decides to go for. He goes for the one behind the wall here, which is oh, and that was very nice of him, keeping the hat up there, ready to recap the bird as he fell down and grabbed the moon.
Yeah, one of the recent route changes we've seen, and an awesome swamp kill from him right there. And deyskil's going to be getting his Kobe.
Let's see if zierse can get the first try on the fireball. Max does. Max and zierse neck and neck here. Unfortunately, they are not the two technically racing against each other. Ooh, Fur's hat denying him the grab there and deciding to hit the crit instead.
zierse looks like he wanted to get a triple jump there, going for a nice swag strat over the wall there, but he's going to opt out of it and go around.
Let's see what strat Max does at the end of this haul. Goes for the standard damage boost.
Yeah, do not blame him for playing it safe. A death there would be very costly. And Fur looks like he's going to get poked by a bird, trolling him a little bit. As zierse becomes meat, and he's going to jump over the soup here to grab the last multi-moon and be on to the Ruin Kingdom. deyskil not too far behind. I don't believe he went fork, so he just needs a few more minutes, and he's also heading off to Ruin. So
Take a look at his moon count in a moment. Fur going for the faster but little riskier strat, like usual, which has been pretty standard for him this race so far. I mean, sinks clip and everything. And Max becomes his meat. He's gonna grab his final moon here.
And Fur's going to opt in to go topper first here. Very similar to the first time we fight him, only harder. You have to really time these jumps on his hat very well. It looks like he's going to get the first phase. Let's see if he gets the second.
And here, if you knock 2 hats off him in a quick section, he will start doing that spin, which puts him on his side that allows you to hit him.
And a very clean fight from Fur. Not an easy feat by any means, so I'm sure he's very happy with that fight.
Deyskil in the photo view room right now. Grabbing the first moon in there. Harriet, the best brutal that we sadly only fight the once in the speedrun.
Yeah, I don't mind Harriet. Not, very, in my opinion, easy fight. You just gotta do some well-timed jumps and some well-timed hot throws, and you'll be fine.
Now, one thing you do want to pay attention to is where you actually hit her for the first and second phase, is because she actually goes to set locations. So if you can actually hit her in that direction, she'll move a little less distance, so you can get an earlier hit and knocking her into the next phase.
Yeah, just those tiny optimizations that definitely add up over the course of the run.
I got zierse on the big dragon fight here, opting for damage boost strats as well. As deyskil is about to make his way up to become meat in a moment. As Max is about to enter into the dragon as well.
We're going to be coming off to probably the most notorious run killer in the game. Even this little section up to the Mecha Brutal can be a gauntlet for a lot of players. And he's going to opt into some fancy camera strats here, something that we've just been seeing recently. Keeping the camera up, either to make these jumps a little bit easier for himself, or just a personal preference thing in his spine.
Ooh, deyskil taking a dip into the stew. Milky broth substance.
We don't like to see that.
Little trouble grabbing that moon, but finally manages to grab it. As first getting poked to death.
It looks like he threw his cap the wrong way, just maybe flicking the control sticks. Definitely one of those things that I do. He's gonna head on over here and do his last Pokio climb.
Grabbing the checkpoint to refill his health. Little too far to the right there, so he had to readjust himself. As he goes to make his way up to Mecha Brutal.
Now in this fight, we're going to see players attempt to climb it at first without using the bird, and then we're going to see them, there's these weak spots that they have to hit each brutals, and Fur taking an interesting spin on birdless here, opting to climb up the little bolts on its legs instead of
the joint. Yeah.
So he's going to actually just get it very clean. So now his goal is to stay on top, and the ear's throwing him a little bit, giving me a minor heart attack.
Bonked on the ear and managed to grab off the front of it to stay on somehow.
Fur showing off some fancy reaction time there. So now in this phase, where it's got crazy legs is what I like to call it, he's just got to wait it out. The boss is invincible during this time.
Well, as you see, it's the flashing rainbow colors, so he just activated a star power.
That works too. Yeah, got a lucky star.
For making it back on, gets the last hit in. Went for a quick hit on the third hit as well, instead of waiting for him to make 5 steps, which most runners tend to do.
Yeah, he actually very clean mecha fight from Fur. I would take that any day.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with that. The fourth hit can actually be a little tricky if you don't get it right away, because the mech will start walking around as you're trying to jump, and it'll just like reposition where your ground pound lands, so you just keep missing it. As zierse is starting his gauntlet, that is Browser's Kingdom.
Definitely feels like you're playing a little bit of whack-a-mole with that last brutal sometimes.
Alright, zierse killing the Thwomp as Max is now entering into Bowser's Kingdom himself, while deyskil finishes up the dragon fight.
Yep. So zierse is definitely going to have a really clean Bowser's here to hang on to this lead. Any death or falling off Mecha Brutal.
I mean, Mecha Brutal is going to be a huge time decider for all three of these runners. Just simply at their skill level, I'm personally not expecting to see clean fights from any of them.
Oh, I wouldn't count any of them out.
At least one of them might, but I personally honestly don't think that any of these three will. I hope they prove me wrong, though.
I agree. So, deyskil going to be on the last cycle of his Dragon Ruin fight here. and he's gonna be headed on to Bowser's.
And Fur on quite a clean run. He's on a low 110 pace here. As long as he doesn't get trolled on the moon, which I've seen races get decided just in the last section.
Oh, definitely.
And zierse not going for the bird capture to go over the wall. Or he did, and I missed it.
We're going to see Fur coming up on really the only trick we're going to do in Moon Kingdom here. It's a very long kind of auto-scroller-esque gauntlet that you would do on the moon casually, but we're going to skip all that. Now we're going to see Fur jump on top of the Sphinx here and do a series of wall jumps that is rather precise, honestly, and get up to where we need to be. So
there's a little dark spot on the wall where you can use it to slightly adjust yourself. For getting it first try. Nice climb up there for him.
And deyskil entering Bowser's Kingdom, so it'll be interesting to see how he handles this, while zierse is going to be heading off to the mini-boss fights. Definitely see a large risk for time loss here, so hopefully you can stay on top of it.
Yeah, with opting for Harriet first, most runners go for Topper.
deyskil is going to be getting the moon behind the wall, and he is going to get the capture back, so...
Very nice there for deyskil. Let's see how Fur's Bowser fight goes as well. Got the first hit on. Just now Bowser's just going to jump in the center, breathe fire now. Now the fire only sets the ground on fire. As long as you're in the air, just a little bit, you won't take damage.
And Fur showing off those fancy backflip shreds. Definitely going to make quick work of this Bowser fight.
As zierse finishing up Harriet there. Max is in Harriet himself right now. Oh, misses the hit on her.
Not too big of a time loss there. No. She only ran for a little bit.
Fur just being a show off again.
zierse chasing some hats around here. I'm not sure if he just missed time to jump or what happened there, but he's going to have to go through another cycle there, but he cleans it up just fine.
Max missing a hit for the hat as well, having trouble finding the real one. There he goes. As Fur enters the final little section where you control Bowser.
Will we see the infamous 2D shortcut? I think he's gonna go for it. So far, he's not held anything back, so I bet we will see that from Fur.
Unless he accidentally shoots a fire and misses it, but that'd be the only case where I would expect to not see it. Max taking decent bit of damage from Topper here. Hope he can.
You're gonna have to play it safe. All right.
He pulls it off. As zierse goes to enter the little climbing section. Fur
gonna get it.
2D skip.
Making it look easy. So definitely nice pace from Fur here.
Just a few more walls to break down, then he'll enter everyone's favorite section with the best music in the game.
deyskil gonna enter in his Topper fight here. He's gonna need a clean one to make up some time. It looks like he just missed the first cycle there, but he's gonna find the hat quickly, so not gonna lose a whole lot of time on the phase.
See if Fur is gonna opt to just shoot fireballs on the right and go straight to the left. Pretty standard I see from most runners these days.
sadly, deyskil chasing some hats around, just again barely missing that hat that he needed. It can be very hard to pick the hat out that you need. They almost overlap each other, and he's gonna have to be super. Go ahead.
Zierse entering Mecha Brutal. He's tempting birdless, falls, so he's just gonna grab the bird now.
Oh, the other Pokio getting in the way there.
For finishing up, all he has to do is grab onto this thing and shoot off.
And it looks like on his splits it's going to be a 1-10-10.
A very good time. No one can be wrong with that. I believe it's only 11 seconds off his PB. The 109.59 according to speedrun.com. So it's a very solid run for Fur here.
Yeah, definitely a nice showing. Not holding anything back, going for all the craziest strats. So,
alright, Zierse did the third hit, going in, trying to stay up there. Or sorry, you got 2 hits in. Max says 2 as well, I believe.
deyskil finish up the Harriet fight here, so not too far behind, going to be entering his Mecha Brutal himself.
Max, where are you? Oh, Max takes a fall off Mecha Brutal. I said Zierse doing this pretty common, waiting for him to take 5 steps before taking the third hit here, because he pauses for a moment. Let's see. Yeah.
And he's going to get back on, and he's going to get a very clean Mecha Brutal fight. I'm sure he is more than happy with that.
Yes.
Other than missing birdless there, getting every phase that he needed. So Max is going to make grab a Pokemon here and get a climb. Ooh, the platform trolling him a little bit. And a quick reaction to put his nose back in the Brutal. Very impressive there from Max.
All right, Zierse is on PB pace for himself, it looks like. deyskil ground pounding to his death.
Yeah, it looks like it's just a slight movement error there in that platforming section, which is not uncommon. The platforming section after the mini-boss fights going up to the Mecha Brutal can be very punishing.
Max finishing on Mecha Brutal himself right now. Very close between those 2 runners. Both of them are on good PB pace for themselves, so nice runs for them so far. Let's see how the moon treats Zierse and Max as we say deyskil doing this final little climb to get up to the Mecha Brutal. Abandoning his Pokio and having to grab a new one.
Ooh, just a slight error there. The motion controls here can be a little unforgiving sometimes. Doing those high jumps with the Pokio is motion control. And Max kind of grabbing an older moon we don't see too often anymore, but definitely a safe one. I do not blame him for going there.
I honestly did not know about that moon.
Yeah, that was one of the moons we used to get early on in the routing. It quickly got replaced by that glory hole. deyskil going to get birdless here, and it looks like he's going to get it first try. Just got to get one more ground pound. And definitely off to a very nice start here.
Let's see if deyskil can give us a nice fight here. As Zierse is now on the moon, making his way over towards the Sphinx to show us that moon cave skip. As deyskil having a little trouble in the, or still has the third hit to go, I believe, or yes.
Yeah, he's making it on just fine. Not missing any cycle yet so far. He is going to opt in to wait. Never mind, he's going to jump off and get a nice hit on the green bunny there. All he's going to do is make it back up top, and one more hit, and he's good to go. And
very nice.
Very clean.
I mean, I'm glad to be proven wrong. But I'm impressed with these runners.
Definitely. Very clean, brutal fights. Not something that is easy to do. And zierse's showing off a little bit of safety tech there. One of the options that I do myself with Moonskip is throw your hat onto the wall before the first wall kick to make sure you get the placement that you need, making that even more consistent.
Let's see if Max can follow up with the moon cave skip. As zierse is about to enter into his boss fight.
zierse definitely on a pace to PB again. So definitely interested to see if he can clutch it out here. Deyskil gonna be leaving Bowser's Kingdom here, and Max coming up on the skip we were talking about. Looks like he's gonna just back out of the first one, not quite getting the height that he needed. And after a reset, he's gonna get it second try. So very clean from Max.
Very nice for these guys. zierse pummeling away at Bowser. Getting that second hit in. Let's see if deyskil can match his performance and join in. I said the race is far from over between these two. One little mess up right at the end can cost a runner minutes.
Yeah, a death in the escape sequence can is almost guaranteed to lose you at least 40 seconds. And zierse's going for a quick grab. He's gonna miss the cycle. Looked like maybe he wanted to do a dive there, but just kind of missing it. So he's gonna have to go through one more extra phase here, dodging the shells there. Not a big time loss, but a time loss nonetheless. So letting deyskil inch back in slightly.
As deyskil's making his very slowly, as fast as you can with this moon gravity to be able to go for the moon cave skip. Let's see how zierse does on the escape here. Spur is just taking a relaxing break in the Mushroom Kingdom now.
Yeah, definitely maybe enjoying his victory there. The one thing we should look at real quick is
deyskil getting the first try on the moon cave skip as well. Very nice from all these runners.
Yeah, very nice showing. The end game from all these runners has been excellent. And Max gonna miss the cycle there. Something the very first hat that Bowser throws in this section instantly comes at you, so you got to grab it quickly and cover a lot of ground.
I'll say if zierse decides to show off with 2D skip as well now. Now he breaks the blocks and no chance.
I do not blame him. Definitely, probably being on PB pace here in a race, his nerves are high, and going for that skip is definitely very risky. So playing it safe.
Max about to enter the escape sequence while deyskil starts his Bowser fight, and somehow misses the first hit on him.
Yeah, it looked like that was going to connect, but just not quite this time.
zierse just got one more wall to break, then the anime sequence. Should be a low 119 if he does not fall into the troll hole.
We do not speak of such things.
I hear, or I sense that you have quite a bit of an experience with this hole.
You know, maybe once or twice. We don't speak of it. Maybe I deleted some highlights from my stream. I don't know. You'll never know. It's like it never happened.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never did it myself either.
So it looks like he's just gonna get around the hole just fine. So no troll hole from zierse today.
Max making his way through the escape himself, as deyskil not having the best of Bowser fights, missing another hit on him.
All of these Bowser fights kind of trolling our runners today. So
just zierse having trouble lining up these last few fireballs to break that last pillar. And looks like Max entering into the anime section.
And it looks like zierse is going to get a 119.23, so has to be a rather large PB for him there again. So definitely coming in clutch when he needs to, and that's what we like to see from these runners.
I said on speedrun.com, Max was showing was a 127 PB, so this looks like it should be a very nice one for him as well.
Ooh, scared me a little bit on the troll hole there, taking a jump over it, but not in it. So
that little breath of fire that he had go in. As deyskil's about to enter the escape himself. That's a fairly close race between these three at least.
Yeah, of course Max racing with Fur, but still every runner wants to do the best that they can, so it's always interesting to see.
I understand Max's position. I had to go against Samurai Man who pulled a sub 10. He got a 106.57 against me. It's like
I watched that.
Like how can I compete against that?
As long as you're doing your best, man. What else can you ask for?
I actually PB'd twice right after that run, like literally back-to-back PBs. Got down to a 113 now myself, but again,
Awesome.
but yeah, then my race against Fire Dragon was not pretty. But let's see, deyskil finish this up here as Max finished up it already.
Looks like he's gonna also say just no, I don't want to go for TD shortcut.
All right, now one thing to mention real quick on zierse's screen right now with this final cutscene, as you know, those two are heartbroken as she says no. And then she just flies off the moon, leaving them stranded there.
An ungrateful Peach. Nobody likes those.
Then Mario just proving how much of a jerk he is. We can listen to this nice music again on deyskil's side. Opting to go the old right side first strat, finishing off that pillar instead of with fireballs. Bring in the last pillar here. Alright, looking on deyskil split does not look like he PB'd on his right, so his time on speedrun.com is a little outdated.
Let's see if any of these runners want to come in and talk for an interview quickly. Hey, and then we're gonna be joined by zierse. What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Hello. So a nice PB from yourself there, huh?
Yeah, I was minus 122 at the end.
Very nice. I bet you're happy with that run. And
Yeah.
also, congratulations on the victory. What's your current standings in the bracket now?
I'm 1-1. I lost my first match versus Bluefish got away.
Alright, so just got two more races to go. So no, one more race. You have one more
just
race to
one more.
go. Sorry, it's confusing with another tournament I was in that had 4 races in the group stage. But yes, good luck in your next race. Tell us about what you thought about your own run here.
My snow and my seaside were really, really bad. Aside from that, it was actually pretty decent all around.
One thing that I always like to ask is, did you have any gold splits?
Yes, a lot actually.
Oh, right on. Which ones were they? So.
All right, I got Cap, Sand, Wooded, Ruined, and Bowser's.
Right on. So.
That was
Your early game and your late game was really good, but your mid game kind of struggled for you. And then we are joined by Max. Max, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going? Can you?
How are you?
Yeah. Of course, the win did go to Fur, but PB for yourself. So is that correct?
Yes, it's a PB by almost 6 minutes.
Right on. So you cannot complain about that, huh?
No.
That's, I mean, to pull that off in a race format is definitely shows some
very nice.
consistency.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with the time. Didn't expect to beat Fur, but that's okay. Pretty happy with this.
So very nice mecha brutals pretty much all across the board for the most part. And I was quite impressed that most with the mech brutal fight for pretty much everyone here.
Oh yeah, I didn't see anyone else's fight. I felt like mine went okay. I almost stayed on during some pretty crazy movement.
Yeah, the crazy leg phase kind of threw you around a little bit.
Yeah, I was on and then off and then hanging there, and then I fell onto one of the little ledges that stick out from the side and eventually fell off. But
definitely something that can happen. And then Fur just joined us. Fur, congratulations on the win. Not a PB. How far off from your PB was that?
Like 20-30 seconds.
Okay, so
also, how do I sound? Because
you sound perfect.
All right, just making sure.
And for you, Max, did you have any gold splits in that race? I always like to know like what was.
Yeah,
gold.
let's see. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 gold splits.
So just a really nice run for you. And then how about you, Fur?
I ended up with 2. I had a Moon Kingdom gold and a Snow Kingdom gold.
Your Moon Kingdom was on point. Your Bowser strats are super risky, but you seem to not struggle with them at all.
I mean, they're fun to go for, but my last PB would have been a lot better if I had not gone for them. So
I gotcha. It's definitely one of those things. Easy to lose time on, but a big time save nonetheless.
I said on second try at Sync Clip as well. You got to be happy about that.
I was pretty happy about that. Then I ended up dying getting up to the one moon in the chest. I forget what it's called.
The Jaxie ruins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad death. I mean, put you all the way back towards the Sphinx, so you had to reclimb all that entire section to get back over there.
Yeah.
And then for Max and Fur, do you guys know how your group is going? Is this your guys' first race, second race? Tell us a little bit about that.
This is my first race, so.
All right, this is my second race for my group. My first race was against Rock Band Man, and he took the win there, so 2 losses. But I PB'd in that race too, so I'm making improvements.
So it's improving every day. That's what I see here. But so depending on the outcome of the other races, definitely nice to get the best times you've ever gotten in a race, because that will affect the bracket stage if you do move on.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, because a 2-2, if you can manage to win your next 2, has a chance to move on. There might end up being tiebreaker races needed, but there is always that chance.
Okay, cool.
In the case of a tiebreaker, I do believe it is determined by players' best times. So.
Sorry, it's 1-2. Yeah, 1-2 would have a chance, depending on if, because if it's 3-0, then the other 3 players are all 1-2. Then it could be a race off between that, depending on how they do decide to do it.
Definitely awesome race for everybody here. Neck and neck down below up until the very last moment. So, thank you guys so much for the race. Definitely follow these runners, guys, and definitely follow Roach. He's an awesome runner, awesome commentator, and shout outs to Speed Gaming for putting all of this on. They definitely they do a lot of work behind the scenes that you guys may not see, which setting up all these streams and dealing with all of the runners who just kind of do this in their free time. So
yeah, all our restreamers, Feasel specifically, I don't know how he keeps up with everything with all the tournaments. The guy's a robot.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much, and that'll be me signing off.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Take care.
That's it. So then, have a good day, everyone. And I do not know what is coming up next, but hopefully there's something on one of the speed gaming channels that you guys can probably watch. I said, have a good day.